Welcome to Hair Up, Bra Off podcast. We're here to be your new comfort fix with unfiltered conversations on random topics and gossip. As two women in their 30s, Catherine, who's been chronically single, and Sue, who is happily married with 2 cats. So take your bra off, throw your hair up, and let's get into it. And men, if you're listening, take notes. So welcome back, everyone, to another great episode of the podcast. I'm extremely excited about today because we're going to be discussing the e.l.f. campaign that they just came out with that includes Matt Rife and Hiding Closet. And Sue, my co-host, has not been on social media lately, and she has no idea what this e.l.f. controversy is. So I'm going to try to explain it to you, and I'm really excited because I'm kind of on the fence of where my thoughts are. So being able to hear your perspective, maybe I'll just agree with everything you're saying, and then that will be it, you know? We will start off. Do you know who Matt Rife is?
So I know that he did a Netflix special and everybody hated him after, but I had never seen his content before. I never watched the special. I never followed him. So that's all I know about him.
So it's interesting that you say that because you don't know anything about him, but you are at least aware enough to know that there was something like some backlash from his Netflix special. Mm-hmm. Now, so Matt Rife became popular in like 2021, 2022, like prime time COVID. So like everyone was on their phone and he was posting a lot. And I think the biggest draw to him was that he looked so much better. I don't know if you ever saw him beforehand. Like what he looked like before. Okay, I'm going to send you a photo because what he looked like before was like a preteen. He looked like he still had his baby teeth in. He looked like he still gets picked up and dropped off by his mom. And then during, I think he said age 22,
by his mom.
Like he claims that's when he hit puberty. Honey, I don't think that's how it works. He got his teeth done. He got veneers, which helped because you'll see his teeth in a second. And then he definitely got like filler, Botox to create more of a chiseled jawline, like a more masculine look.
Interesting. I had no idea about any of this.
I think that he started gaining weight, like he started working out, and he noticed that his face didn't match his body, and so
he this started... was him before.
Yes.
And here, he looks like a lesbian.
Yeah. Exactly. And then now you see him, and you're like, bro, I'm sorry, there's just no way. Like, there's no way. I mean, your voice...
Okay, and then I need, like, the today, I guess. Let's see.
Yeah, see him, look him up today. And so his whole spiel is that he does crowd work. He got his start.
Oh.
Yeah.
He looks way different now. It's crazy.
Tell me that's puberty, please.
No. He definitely did some face work for sure. But honestly, it makes him look more like a lesbian now. It's just like a more chiseled...
More butch?
Lesbian.
Like a more butch
I'm
lesbian?
getting very like metrosexual vibes from these photos. Like at the very least metrosexual, maybe further down the spectrum.
Yeah.
In terms of like sexuality. He's looking really feminine out here. He's a feminine looking man.
So he got all jacked, changed his face, and he started posting, and of course women started noticing and started like following him, and it gave him the platform that allowed him to grow his career into where he's much more well known, and he's gotten a lot more jobs. And his whole spiel is that he does crowd work, which isn't necessarily my thing. I like more, I will say I do like dark humor. I do like people, like I love Comedy Central roasts. I love insult comics. Like that is my thing. So that's why I'm kind of, oh my God, I love it. I think it's always the funniest thing.
Wait, maybe that's why I feel like I always like do a little bit of roasting with you and you take it really well. And I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
think she likes it. I think she's into it.
I think she likes the pain that I say these things to her.
I think she likes the pain. Let's see how far I can go.
Like
Let's keep
it
pushing
to
it. No, because
it's
I think it's like certain people, like, that can
yeah,
take the
100%.
sarcasm or like the playful, like, yeah,
Banter. I
insults, I
love a
guess,
good
for lack of a
banter.
better word.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
so I'm very much like a very sarcastic. I like dark humor. A lot of the comedians that I really enjoy are people that have said the most outlandish stuff. So with that preface, is he came out with his Netflix special, and it started out with a DV joke, a domestic violence joke, and so there was this backlash. And the other part of the special is he was saying how he no longer wanted to pander to women. He wants to just like be for the boys. And it's crazy because now you're alienating your biggest part of your audience.
For the boys.
And this is the thing,
the boys.
I understand if you want to have like a certain demographic, like we want to be for the women, but I also think it's acknowledging who is already there and who has helped you. And the thing about Matt Rife is why I can tell he's not a good comedian, because he can't say things in a funny way to get around these issues. Like I feel like any other comedian would have been like, hey women, why don't you invite your boyfriend and tell him to have a guys night at this comedy special so I can meet the boys? Like, I'm all here for the boy. Like, you can say it so much better, but he doesn't understand that, because I feel the only time he's funny is when he's bantering with someone.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah, he doesn't know how to do it. I also think that's a stupid thing to want to do, because the most coveted demographic really is like women between like the ages of, I think it's like 25 and 40. Like we spend the most money, at least online, like by far, if we like the creator. We pay the most attention, we share it the most, we're like have bigger friend groups in general. So like, are you an idiot? Like, why would you want to lose the one demographic that everyone else is trying to gain, especially male comedians? Like, it doesn't even make financial sense,
Amen. I kind of started understanding why he wants to pander to men. It's because his jokes aren't that funny, because he has the jokes and mentality of like a younger male. Like this is what I say. I'm not mad at the joke that he made, and I have to keep the same energy because other comedians that I love say way more harsher stuff. And so I can't be mad at him for that, because I'm not mad at the other comedians. I'm just upset that he didn't make it funny. Like, it was such a typical joke. Did you hear the joke? It was
No.
It was something where he went to a restaurant and the hostess had a black eye, and his friend was saying, oh, why don't they just put her in the back in the kitchen? Why are they putting her on display? And then he said she probably wouldn't have that black eye if she knew how to cook.
Yeah, I think now I'm remembering. Yeah,
And I'm like,
I think the thing is that, I feel like, to your point, like, it has to be funny. The other thing too is like, you get like people don't. You have to have enough of a brain, I think, to understand like your audience and to know the brand that you've created for yourself. And then like all of a sudden he like got on stage and started saying crazy stuff.
like, his
Okay, I
reputation
didn't know.
was him being really, 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 really good looking, and women just liked him for that. And that built his platform.
Okay.
And then he started going on
Okay.
podcasts, and he kind of started saying things where you could tell, like, that's how I knew initially he isn't that funny, because when he's on podcasts, he just sounds like every other regurgitated nonsense that every guy I've ever heard talk about. Like, I don't like a woman with a loose pussy. I don't want her to look like, oh, look at her, she has a big old pussy. Like, he's not funny. Like, if you're gonna be offensive, at least make me hold back my laughter while I question it.
Right.
Like, I don't hold back my laughter with his jokes, because the whole DV joke is such a recycled joke. They've been making that joke since the freaking 50s.
Yeah.
And this is
Since
what the hill
beginning of
you
time.
decide to die on, is that joke.
Right. Yeah, it's stupid. It's not strategic.
And I just think the more popular you become and the bigger platform you have and the more spotlight you get, people really start seeing you crack underneath the lights where your true, your true comedic efforts come out, and you realize he's really not that funny. Like, his DV joke wasn't funny. If it was funny, then I'd be like, you know what, let him say his joke. I've heard way worse. I'm not offended by the joke, in all honesty. I'm just sad that it was such a bad joke, at least.
That's true.
Like, I've heard that joke so many times. She belongs in the kitchen, this ball and chain, and make me a sandwich, lady. And then, of course, the guys all laugh, and it's like, okay.
Yeah. And is it, like, the fact that all the guys laugh, like, does that show that they're stupid? Because it's like,
well, they've shown they're stupid since the dawn of day. I mean.
Yeah, like, it's like, how are you laughing at the same thing? Like, bro. I guess it's what men do. They just do repetitive behavior. Like, they masturbate all the time with their hand. It doesn't get old, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to create a story. It's just the same motion, same amount of strokes. So I guess they just are, like,
they're creature of habit.
Creatures of habit, yeah. Anyway, what happened with this man? So we've gone and talked about this man.
So he says this joke, and that's kind of like his first controversy. And then also in his special, he talks about how he no longer wants to pander to women and how he wants this to be a guy special. And for me, the second I hear that, and this is the thing, I didn't care about the DV joke, did not care. But the second he started alienating the woman audience, I'm like, okay, well, in that case, you know that TikTok song where it goes, you do not have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me. And then the girl starts packing up and walking away. Like, don't tell me twice, I'm out of here. So, adios, señor, adios, mi corazoncito. Okay? And so I remember I was following him, I unfollowed him, I blocked him, and I was like, he wasn't even funny to begin with. And I love dark humor. Like, I should be defending you, but I won't. Anywho, so then he lives in that infamy of, okay, I don't want women, cool. I go about my life. I'm living my best life, Sue. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm seeing the sunshine. I'm seeing the grass grow. I'm smelling the flowers. You get me? I'm not having sex, but everything else is great. And then all of a sudden, I see this campaign pop on my feed. And it is Matt Rife and Heidi N Closet. Now, I don't know if you watch Drag Race at all. But
yes,
Heidi N Closet was on Drag Race. I forgot what season. But I absolutely love her. I think she's hysterical. She's everything. She's gorgeous. She gives. And she's also in it. And she's funny in the commercial. And I'm like, why do I see them two together on my screen? What is going on? And so I see the commercial and I'm so confused because I was like, this man said he didn't want to pander to women. But now he's in a campaign for a company that's main audience is women. And I was a little taken back. Like, I was like, why would e.l.f. do that? Like, why am I seeing this man on my screen? So I can send you the ad so you can see.
Okay, so when was this, just so I know?
Like 2-3 weeks ago. I love Heidi.
This is weird. And it's also not funny still.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what
he continues to be not funny.
So I think what the again, why I was kind of not feeling the campaign was not because of his joke, because again, I feel like comedians can say what they want, they can offend who they want, like just, and even though I wasn't offended by his joke, granted other people were, you as someone who isn't, let's say, as chronically online, knew about that, so of course e.l.f. must have known. And it's just weird that they did this whole campaign and their equation equaled Matt Rife. And the interesting,
I know, it's weird. That is so odd.
And as I was doing research for this episode,
wow. See, this is what 11 fans like does to us. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I do research.
I take a long shower, you do research, like what's going on?
We got to give the best. It's not about quality. No, it's not about quantity, but quality, babes. Okay. So I saw an interview that the chief marketing officer had on YouTube, and it's so funny because she talks about the reason why e.l.f. is so successful in their marketing is because she is on the ground herself. She doesn't like to look at reports about social media. She's on social media. She is reading what we're writing, people. She is in it with us. She is in the grass. She's on the front lines. And she talks about that's why there's such a small gap between the community and e.l.f. because she is there. And the more I heard this, I thought, wow, so she really probably knew beforehand all of this, as she's stating, and still decided to go in this direction, which makes me question so much more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
anytime there's a really failed campaign, the first thing I look up is their marketing company or marketing people, because then I can get a better idea, like, oh, okay, now I get it. I get why they went there. They look like they don't know what they're doing. But she did.
Yeah, the only reason I would say that they wanted to do it was like call attention to it. If that makes sense? Like, it's like, oh, we're going to generate a lot of,
I
like,
think
it's more polemic, so people are going to, like, it's more controversial.
In the ad, he talks about, oh, I'm a red flag. Like, that's the play on it, is like, people love when others can make fun of themselves and when others make the joke that people are already making. So he's like, oh, I'm a red flag, so I know red flags.
I see. Yeah, but it doesn't, like, to,
But
like,
his
hire
red
somebody for
flags,
just that.
Yeah, his red flags are beyond what would be funny.
Exactly. It's almost like it sounds like what you're saying right now. It's like it's a continuation of that bad joke.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
the
no,
red flag,
100%.
the red flag play.
Yeah.
Why are we still talking about it? It didn't hit. Still not hitting.
Yeah.
Jesus, let it fucking go. Like,
yeah, and
let
that's
it
why,
go.
and that's why, I don't, and the other thing is, like, this man probably got paid in excess of like 6 figures, if not more, to be on this ad. So now I'm like, wow, here's the company that I support and I buy from, and they're paying this man probably an absurd amount of money to now be in my space when I didn't ask it in the first place.
Never buying from them.
Never. And this
Unless
is
they
where
send us like a lot of
free
right.
e.l.f., you're gonna lose 2 of your best customers who semi buy some products.
And their moms.
Yeah, and our moms, mind you. Yeah, so 4 people. That's gonna really hurt. We're waiting for your response. Our email is open.
That one
but see,
mascara you
again,
bought per year.
The crazier thing is I start reading the comments to get a gauge of what people are feeling, and a lot of women are defending him and saying that it's just a joke, it's not that deep, and I still like him. And then I'm like, am I thinking too much into it? But now hearing your response, I'm like, maybe I'm not thinking too much into it.
No, you're not. And I think this is a typical woman behavior, right? Like, oh, this is how I feel, for like, this is my immediate feeling, and then you try to like evaluate it. You're like, wait, is my feeling wrong? You know what I mean? Like, we tend to do this, and I'm here to tell you, go with your first feeling. First feeling is always right. Men have always gone with the first feeling, and so just do the first thing that comes to your mind. Say it, do it, hit whoever is in front of you. Violence, yes.
We don't condone violence. It's like the devil and angel. We do not condone violence. Hit that man. Hit him, okay?
The first reaction that you have is the right reaction. Is not wrong.
Okay, we don't want our 10 listeners to end up in jail, because then they can't hear us from there, okay? So we really got to be careful with our choices. We don't want to alienate our 10 followers.
It's been too long. We've been questioning ourselves too long. We've been thinking that, you know, like, we've been not validating our own thoughts for too long. So I'm just like, honestly, at this point, you're a well-formed human being. Whatever you thought first, I can assure you, is better than 1,000 men's thoughts, you know, on the other side.
And again, I think I'm just, again, I don't really even care for Matt Rife. I'm not so upset about what he's done. I'm more upset at e.l.f. for choosing him. Because there's so many other 100%. Ways they could have done it. Like, in my head, this is what I do before I go to bed when I can't sleep. I start thinking about everything that's in my mind. And I was like, oh my God, it would have been so much more funny if they had, like, Nikki Glaser, you know, that comedian?
Yeah,
she's so funny.
Sure.
She could have been the judge. Or Heidi could have been the judge. Nikki could have been the lawyer. And then they just brought up pictures of men who have red flags. And then in that, they can show random makeup products and say, right? Like, it's not that hard.
You.
If you take this idea, this is copyrighted, trademarked, you know. But they could
a lot of these marketing, like, failed campaigns, there has to have been so many stupid, like, yeses, so many stupid decisions that had to have happened.
You know,
like,
how many committees, subcommittees, marketing officers, like, it's just, it baffles me. And that's why I like to look at who's behind the screen. Like, for example, the American Eagle ad, when I saw it, I was like, okay, it was really bad. I mean, it is what it
Yeah.
is. And then I looked at their
Yeah.
marketing team and I was like, I get it now. That
What's
makes
the
sense.
marketing team?
It's just like a bunch of white people in there, like middle
Oh, yeah,
aged,
that's
who
true.
just
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah. They
it.
need diversity. You need diversity because you need someone to come in and also you need diversity not just from like a race thing, but just like diversity of life, because
Yeah,
somebody's gonna come in and be like, and diversity that you champion because whoever is diverse in your team should be able to be like, do you think that's a bad idea? Like just overall, like do you think we maybe just stay away from this man as a whole? Just like can we do the ad without this man? Like to
that's
begin
the
with. You
thing.
know what I
They
mean?
could have done it without him. That was my other
Yeah.
thing. He didn't need to be in
Yeah.
it.
Because it also seems like the whole red flag thing, like it almost seems like the ad was built around him because you know what I mean? Like somebody must have decided prior to what the ad was gonna be that they wanted Matt Rife in it, which was a poor decision. And so if I were whatever executive, I'd be like, let me stay away from that because like why? There's so many other people that can do the thing. Why him? Like seriously.
Okay, so social media gives these companies such a big advantage because I think, especially with TikTok, it's changed what a viral campaign really can achieve through people being able to stitch the said campaign and share it more and also react to it directly. And I feel companies nowadays, instead of thinking of just creating a campaign that represents them, they're thinking about how they can go viral, which I feel then
Yes.
blindfolds or gives them tunnel vision into creating these horrible
That's
campaigns
true.
that they're pandering towards making viral. But it's like I mean, it can work, but it can also go very wrong, and I think that's what e.l.f. did. I think they
Yeah.
thought that this was going to be a funny, quirky play on words. People would react to it, make shared videos, probably would be in on the joke, but it ended up being the opposite.
Well, yeah. I mean, unless it results in like actually more people knowing about the brand, right? Because it's like technically, if you wanted to like increase brand awareness, kind of work because I think more people are probably like looking into e.l.f. in general
Yeah.
now that they have such a bad campaign. Um, Now, will it result in like conversions? We don't know. We'll yet figure it out.
And here's another
You
great
know?
example is Gap. Have you seen the new Gap commercial?
No, I don't watch like
You
I
don't
don't
have
know
a
where are these
TikTok.
commercials.
You don't have a TikTok. That's like you're
I
not in it.
You don't have a TikTok.
You don't have a TikTok, Nana. Like
This is my TikTok. You don't have a
you
TikTok.
don't have a TikTok. Let me send it to you. Now I get your live reaction of what you think of
You
this.
said it like they say in Bridesmaids. Like, oh, you don't have a husband. You don't have a husband.
The one girl who keeps saying it, the one that just got married, she goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is my husband," and then she talks to Kristen Wiig. "Oh, you don't have a husband. Oh, you don't have a husband. Oh, this is weird. I'm sorry."
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me start again. My name is whatever. You don't have a husband.
Oh,
No, I also don't watch TV. I guess. Also, who
it's not
watches
on
TV?
TV.
Honestly, like
No one
nowadays.
watches TV, so you're not special if you say you just don't watch TV. Like you're not special. Just kidding.
Somebody's watching TV, right? Because don't they come out on TV first? The commercials.
No, that's what I'm saying. Companies now look at social media as their only focus. Like what happens on TV, I feel like comes second to them now. Like they're more focused on how it'll do on social media, and if it does well, they're like, and put it on TV too. So I think their biggest audience right now is on social media.
Oh wait, you sent me something.
Yeah.
Let's see, another live reaction, everybody. You're getting 2 live reactions today. I like it. This one's good.
So that Gap commercial is going viral online. Everyone is saying this is how you do a campaign, especially after the debacle of American Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah.
This ad came out, their competitor. They're both trying to advertise their jeans. One did it with
Right.
Sydney Sweeney, and Gap is doing it with the girl group Cat's Eye. I
Oh,
don't know if
okay.
you noticed there was, I think it's 6 girls who are in the group. And because Gap has artists who come in, this is like what they're known for. They've been doing it for like 20 years. They have an artist come on, they do this whole choreography highlighting the new line that they're doing. And so everyone's saying like that's all you have to do for an ad. Now everyone is stitching it. They're all doing the dance. They want to learn the dance. They're stitching
I like
it.
It had, I love the songs, very catchy. I feel like the point was proven of like you have comfy jeans with like basic like basic tops. Got it. Like if I'm ever, I think like that is what you want to plant in people's minds. Like if you need jeans, come to us. I think the message came across like really well, and like they're like what people are wanting right now, which is like comfort more than anything. And these people are like,
it's
so yeah. Matter of fact, we should go to Gap. Like, that's a
see,
good ad,
it's working.
Sure.
It's working, and that's the other thing that people have said since the creation of social media is that they love that brands can get online and get in on the joke. You know how some companies are really funny online, like Duolingo, known for making really funny TikToks, and were in on the trends, and they weren't afraid to comment funny rebuttals to people. But then the audience started feeling that they were getting pandered to. Like these companies, it was funny at first, but now we don't need to see Wendy's and Duolingo commenting on everything and trying to be part of the group when they're just companies trying to sell us something.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Just be a company at this point.
And you know what? Okay, what you're saying, I'm not gonna get, I'll get deep. But, so, I went to business school, obviously, and we had discussions around businesses. And one of the discussions is around, like, how over the years, like, people expect, employees and customers alike, they expect corporations to have an opinion, a political opinion, and a political point of view, which historically they didn't have to have. They were businesses, and nobody expected that from them, and they were like, well, you just sell jeans. In this case, like, you're not going to take a stance against, like, refugees or something, or, like, pro-immigration or whatever it is. And so the argument from a lot of people that are in business is like, and, kind of like everybody differs and everybody has their opinion or whatever. There's a lot of reasons for this, like, including the fact that we've made it's like workplaces now are essentially one of the few, if not the only, community space for a lot of people, because outside of that they don't have community, and we chatted about that like in another episode. And so like they expect a lot more from work, like mental health, connection, a political identity being matched, I guess, like, food in some cases, like a good, like, work, like, life balance. There's just like a lot more attached to like work now, because they're not getting it from other places, like humans, in general. So they expect work to be like everything. So that's part of it. The other part of it is just like, the fact that, again, the introduction of social media has now created like an association of brand to like the brand's values and the company's values. But I will say the people that are strongly against this, like a lot of CEOs that are like, oh no, like we're a business, we don't want to be on one side or the other, or like support one, political party over the other. Yeah, that's bullshit, because you don't get to like do that and then also try to be one of us in social media. You know what I mean? And like, and be like in the comments, like to your point, like commenting on like, yay, like this is like, you don't get to be like, you have to pick a lane. You're either with the group, and then you have to then be part of the group, which comes with like its entirety of like political discourse and like picking a side, because that's just how friendship works and community works, or you're like not at all part of the group and you just remain above here, and then you like forget about all of us and where we are, remain quiet and just like do your own thing, I guess. Can do both, you know what I mean?
It's really interesting that you mentioned that, because one thing that I noticed while doing my research for this set episode, and a lot of the campaigns that have happened recently that have had the most backlash, is, for example, the Sydney Sweeney. Even though it wasn't made to be a political ad, a lot of where the conversation was going and who was being louder were either on the conservative side or the liberal side. Like,
Exactly.
and they both had very different stances, and they're both giving different opinions. And it's like, I almost also feel like now more than ever, it just seems everything can become a political thing, which I also just don't agree with. And it was just so strange. Like, again, the whole Sydney Sweeney, it really became a right or left, and then people started diving into what she is. People looked up her voter registration, and she's a registered Republican. And so people started going off that and saying, oh, the right love it, and of course she's a registered Republican. And I think it just added fuel to her campaign, which I found interesting, because when I, like, again, before social media, that really wasn't even in the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, ads were either bad or good, and that was it.
Yeah, I think that there's like two sides. Like, I do agree with you that I think everybody's like way too sensitive, and they're making everything into like a possible outlet for, like, especially politics, you know, because of the very divided environment in which we live, especially specifically with social media. If anybody's responsible, is like, talk to the social media companies, honestly, because they need to like figure that shit out. That's where I'm gonna put the blame, and they're gonna put the blame back on us. But like, no, like, screw you. You're the one that's making money off of us and our attention. So like, you're supposed to be the responsible party. I think it's interesting because I don't think she thought of it as like anything. You know what I mean? And I think whoever was doing the ad was also didn't think of it as like anything. But as an artist, I think you have to be like hyper aware of what you are participating in.
Agreed.
And, you know, especially at that level of
Kendall
exposure,
Jenner, the Pepsi
that's what I'm saying.
like,
especially like, my thing is, same thing. Like, you don't get to like benefit from like people's like attention, but also claim that you didn't think about something and like you were being stupid. Because a lot of the other things are very planned out. Like, you're working on projects strategically to be seen as like, you know, let's say this actress that can like do different things. Like, she does like some weird scary movie that I only watched like 10 minutes of because I didn't think it was interesting, but she's like there, you know, she's like in some rom-com. So I think I'm assuming she does things strategically to be like, I'm more than just a pretty face, you know what I mean? So like, have the same energy when you're like working on things like these, and then be like, is this a good idea? Like, how is it gonna resonate? And I go back to like, to your point, to like, maybe they need to just like have more like diverse groups reacting to things, because they may not have like shown this ad to like some Gen Zers that are like more liberal, I guess, and they like reacted, you know, that way online.
Yeah, I just, and I
you
also
had that feeling when I saw that too. I was also like, this is like, you have like, there's a feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have, like, it's not like, I get that you're saying like, that's not how you, like, that's not what you wanted, how you wanted to come across, but everybody, you have to be like, people got the feeling, even if you don't fully disagree, which I don't, like, I have nothing against it, you still like, you're like, I don't know, you know, like, I don't know if that's like appropriate. I don't know, I feel like it feels weird. If it feels weird, you probably shouldn't like show it.
And I think that goes down to, I feel, one, the company is just the bigger issue of groupthink, which I remember reading in marketing, where if you're in a group of people and people agree to one point, then people tend to also think that way. So that's why it's important to do various different groups, leaning in various different ways to ensure you're getting an accurate sort of reaction. And I feel what e.l.f. did is they just showed it to yes people instead of people who would honestly tell them what is wrong. And that's where it led them.
And the other thing too is like, they don't want to, it's always, because I work in a big corporation, and I also know like, if I would have been there, depends on like what level I'm on, but there probably were some people that were like, I don't know, and then they're like, because if you have the thought, sometimes you can have the thought, but you're like, I don't get paid enough for this, honestly.
No, 1,000%. Yeah.
Just like,
I think that's what happened with
it's just like,
I think that's what happened with the Kendall Jenner ad, is that there's probably people in between who felt a certain way, but they didn't want to open that can of worm because they knew
exactly
they didn't get paid enough, because they knew by opposing it, it would definitely bring a larger conversation that they just didn't want to deal with.
Totally.
And I get that. And I think
or
that's
you know
also
that
how,
like one of the yeah, one of the VPs is like super excited about it, or like you're like, oh, like that, you know, like head of whatever marketing is like super into like, oh, Sydney Sweeney, like, or like, you know, Matt Rife, like it's always like the one person with the most seniority that like starts the conversation, and then everybody just kind of aligns to that, and they're like, there's also a lot of motivations at play. Like most people are trying to get promoted, so they're just trying to like say yes, you know what I mean? They're not trying to like,
Ruffle
so there's a
feathers.
lot of like, exactly, there's a lot of like human motivations beyond trying to make a good work product that come into play when you do anything, especially
It's
like
like
in a
a
bigger corporation.
the politics behind the scene is what fails them a lot of times.
And I think people have forgotten about like how there's like, I think what creates a situation is like 50-50 on each side. It's like also why we live in the society that we live. Like we should all be able to have like complex thoughts and the ability to have a range in between like what we believe in without having to like align to like, you know, a party. And I think we talked about this, but it's like this concept, especially in this country, of like either being black or white or aligning to a football team, like win or lose. Like there's no, you know what I mean? Like right or left. It's very just all like encompassing and very just like conclusive when you pick one or the other. There's no room for like negotiation, and there's no room for interpretation. I think that's like what we've lost as a society. And this is what creates like these, because it's like she's not all wrong, she's also not all right. And the public is not all right, they're also not all wrong, you know? So I think, and I don't understand why we can't live in like that nuance of like, whatever, fine. Also, like, my other thing is that people are offended. Yeah, like, just move on, you know what I mean? Like, how does it affect you? It's my whole thing with like anything. Like, how does it impact your life? Like,
But then that's when I
whatever.
say, I guess this is a good segue of like going back to our point then with the whole Matt Rife being in the e.l.f. commercial
Yeah.
and the backlash they received and how much people are saying they
Yeah.
don't want to even
Well,
align themselves with e.l.f.
what I'm saying is like, how does it affect you in terms of like if you're like spending a lot of energy being like upset about it, I feel like you shouldn't. The best thing you can do is just like don't buy that brand. You like, you know what I mean? Or like that's your reaction to it. You know what I mean? Like what I mean is like I feel like it's a waste of time to like be like posting around like
Or making a
talking about
podcast
it. You
episode
know what I
about
mean?
it.
Or making a podcast episode, and you know now we have to end. To be fair, for everyone, for the 11 followers, I had no idea what this podcast. What? To be fair, Kat's the one that brought it up. I was out here just chilling, being like, you were like, I'm gonna bring up topic to you, and I was like, and I'm gonna react, and then I've been forced to react. I don't care about this.
That's America,
In my
baby.
day-to-day life, I was walking around, smelling the flowers, and then I was all of a sudden I got kidnapped in this little box, and then I was forced to react to these like stupid things that I don't
We really went
care about.
full circle on this. I love it though. Like that's what I'm saying though. I feel like I'm glad that like I told you about it, someone who didn't know, because I kind of felt the same way. Like I'm upset at e.l.f. I don't care about Matt Rife, and I don't believe the backlash that people are condemning them to hell and saying like they'll never ever buy from them and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, you know what, I don't agree with their choice. I don't really feel like maybe supporting them at this point. Maybe we'll see what happens in the future. But maybe
Unless
I
you
can,
give us some free makeup,
yeah, it's okay, yeah, our
in
email's
which we
open.
would totally support you.
You can definitely buy us. We're cheap as hell. We're cheap as hell.
Cheap as fuck.
Like this is a time
We
to
will
get
totally
us
get behind. The next episode is how good they are and all the good they've done in the world.
e.l.f. is an outstanding member of our community and the way they have supported us.
Totally.
I mean,
totally.
yeah, we're very buyable, if that makes sense. So we'll leave that door open,
No,
wide
we're
open.
we're sluts. We're
Yeah.
sluts for marketing.
I'm
If
such a
anybody
weird
wants to
slut.
partner with us for their brand, sluts for marketing partnerships.
So
Our reach so far is 11 people of all ages, and across 2 states at the very least, you know. See, I'm sure there'll be at some point some Netflix documentary. Have you seen that? Like,
Dude, the amount of documentaries before there's even a conclusion on said events.
they're
Netflix,
starting. They're
They already have a
They're,
script
like,
and a
too late.
director. Happens. Yeah. I'm, it's kind of like you said, a full circle moment where initially I was, and that's the thing. Oh, I've noticed within myself, and I do need to be careful, is that I'm glad I spoke to you, because I'm very much like my dad, where we get influenced very easily into thinking certain
Really?
ways. Like when I was looking into the Matt Rife thing, when I would see a video, if I saw all the comments were against him, I was like, hell yeah, motherfucker! Fuck Matt Rife! Fuck e.l.f. Oh my god, but we love Heidi in Closet. I hope she comes back for another campaign. I think she was so good, and they need to give her the respect that she deserves. That's a side note, but like, I was like, hell yeah, fuck Matt Rife. But then I'd see another video where everyone's like, why are you so over the top? Why do you care so much? It's just a comedian. I'm like, you know what? You're right. It really is nothing. What is going on?
God.
And it's like, I go
Doesn't
back
mean
and
that you're
forth,
easily.
back and forth.
That just means that you have a very open mind.
I hope so. Other times I'm like, shit.
Sign of intelligence.
Shut up. Shut
I
up.
swear to God.
This
It's a
is why I
sign of
love you.
intelligence.
I love
You can
this.
see
Is
both sides.
This is what I need to hear, because at first I'm like, damn, I'm so easy to like lean on one side over the other. Like I believe in the hype and I feel it, and I'm like, hell yeah, bitch.
No, that
Fuck
just
e.l.f.
means that you're smart.
Thank you.
So
Okay, we can end that. We can end the
That's
series
your good
here.
luck.
Let's
Yeah,
end it
I
here.
think
We're
we can
done.
end the episode.
We can end the
On
podcast
this,
at this point. I'm so glad you guys were here for our journey. I just wanted to hear Sue say that.
It just means that you're smart.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us. And tell your friends, men, or enemies, we're not picky. Follow Hair Up, Bra Off everywhere you scroll. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.